Looking back on our previous episode, you might remember that we started out by driving up through Sedona and out to the edge of the world just south of Flagstaff. We had a monsoonal downspout hit us during the night and had to dry a few things out in the morning. Then we hit the road for Colorado, crossing through Navajo country and climbed up Imogene Pass Road from Telluride to the top of the pass. After making our way down the other side of the pass, we found a nice camp spot just above 11,000 feet beside Imogene Creek and brought out the awning and walls for protection from the rain and settled in for a very comfortable evening. The next morning, we woke to clear skies. The plan for the day was to finish going down the Imogene Pass Trail to Ouray and begin the Alpine Loop by going over Engineer Pass and then camping near Lake City. We wanted to get an early start so we could be on the Engineer Pass Trail before it got crowded with other vehicles. But we still had a long ways to go to get to the bottom of the Imogene Pass Trail and into the town of Ouray. Turned out the going was a bit slower than I anticipated. The trail was narrow in many places and, because we were the downhill vehicle, we had to frequently stop and occasionally reverse course to let other vehicles get by. And frequently, though the trail wasn't really technical, it was just a lot slower than I expected it to be. And in the end, it really put us a little behind schedule. Sure, I could have driven over the bridge, but that would have been the easy way. Once we completed the Imogene Pass Trail and drove through the town of Ouray, we came to the beginning of the Alpine Loop Trail. The first part of the trail was the Mineral Creek portion. It's a very narrow shelf road and has some very rocky spots on it. And we were also concerned about traffic coming the other direction as we were a little behind schedule for the day. This Jeep didn't have much of an option for finding a place to get out of the way, so even though we were the uphill vehicle, it was really better for us to try and pull over to the side, and sometimes it's better just to let your passenger get out of the vehicle when they're on the downhill side of a shelf road and give you a little bit of guidance. A little more than a mile and a half up the road, we come to the Michael Breen mine, a fluorine fluorite mine that had been leaking metal and acid into the Uncompahgre watershed. It was successfully cleaned up in 2014. We continued our way up the Mineral Creek Trail, and eventually it opened up into an area where we had a great view of the trail ahead of us and O Point, the spectacular view spot just before you reach Engineer Pass. We took a sharp 180 to the left when the connector route for the Alpine Loop came in from the right. The connector loop comes over from Animas Forks, mining ghost town between Cinnamon Pass and California Pass. We'll be traveling through that area on our return trip from Oklahoma. Stay tuned for that in a future episode, where we'll see some of the best scenery of the entire trip. After climbing up the final shelf road, we made it to Odom Point, also known as O Point, known for its spectacular view of the surrounding area. It was tough to pull ourselves away from the view at O Point, but it was time to move on and head up to Engineer Pass. Hey, the view at Engineer Pass wasn't so bad either, so we hung out there for a while before we started making our way down the other side of the pass. The drive down from Engineer Pass wasn't as technical as the drive up going up the Mineral Creek Trail, and the weather was a lot better than it was yesterday when we were coming down off of Imogene Pass. Overall, it was a very beautiful afternoon drive. The Empire Chief mine was started in 1885 and closed in 1907. It had poor management and just bad luck overall. It was rebuilt in the year 2000, and in 2008 an avalanche destroyed it. The road met up with Hanson Creek and we drove along it until we reached the junction with Nellie Creek. We turned left and went up a dirt road and made camp for the night a short way up. The following morning, we got up, had a quick bite, and hit the road. We had a very long drive ahead of us. Little did we know it was going to be a lot longer than we planned. Short ways down the road from camp, we came to the Ute-Ulay mine and mill site. The Ute and Ulay mines were some of the best-known silver and lead producers in Colorado. Between 1874 and 1903, the mines were responsible for $12 million worth of minerals, which today would amount to more than $300 million. The Ute and Ulay mines, mill complex, and surrounding Henson town site are rare examples of a more complete mining community. Efforts for restoration continue today. The mine was also considered the reason for the growth of Lake City, just down the road. Located in an area where Henson Creek carves a narrow canyon, the miners built a hydroelectric dam and called it Hidden Treasure Dam. The dam burst in 1973, leaving a large hole that can still be seen today from the road above. After leaving the Ute-Ulay mine area, we drove into Lake City where we refueled. Then we drove east on the Silver Thread Scenic Byway to the top of Slumgullion Pass where we turned onto the Los Pinos Pass Road and followed Cibola Creek before turning to head up over Los Pinos Pass. The plan was to drive down Los Pinos Pass and across some open ranch land to Highway 114 and drive on Highway 114 and look for a campsite. A common theme on this trip was driving in the rain, and today would be no exception. The Los Pinos Pass Road is a common route for those overlanding from the west side of the Rockies to the east side in that part of Colorado. It's an easy road to drive. There's nothing technical at all on it. Even with the rain and it being a little muddy, it was still a fun drive.
You know, it's finally striking me how much land the National Forest Service owns, or the BLM.
Both.
A lot. Oh, and look, they have neighbors.
So we're just a few hundred meters before Los Pinos Pass, and this is just a beautiful little camp spot right in here. We got cell reception when we got near the end of the Los Pinos Pass Road and got onto Highway 114. This gave us a chance to look at the weather outlook, and it didn't look so good. There was a major storm moving its way in from the east with severe rain, and once again, it looked like we would have to pass on camping for the night. When we got to North Cochetopa Pass, we had good cell reception, and were able to make a reservation in a motel in Del Norte, Colorado. So we went east to Saguache and then drove south to Del Norte, Colorado, and that's where we spent the night. Staying in Del Norte put us farther down the road than we expected, and we had a short drive the next day. Before we had left home on the trip, we had made reservations in Raton, New Mexico, and we're going to use that town as our launching point to head out to Durant, Oklahoma, which was our next stop. But along the way, we passed Great Sand Dunes National Park, and we decided to check it out. We went to the visitor center and looked around, and then we pulled into a picnic area where we had lunch. There we decided, hey, let's drive over the Medano Pass Road and see what it's like. So from the park entrance, we drove out to the Medano Pass Road, over Medano Pass, and out to a highway on the east side of the San de Cristo Mountains. Deciding to go over Medano Pass was really a great decision. This road was amazing. It had 9 water crossings along the way. There was sand, there was mud, there were some rocks. Everything you would want in a four-wheel drive road. There must have been at least 20 campsites along the way set aside by the Park Service for primitive camping. We made our way along the rest of the trail, finishing up the remainder of the 9 water crossings, going through the rocks and the mud, and we finally made it up to Medano Pass. I'm telling you, given the opportunity, I don't think we would pass up a chance to do this run again. Hopefully next time we'll be able to camp along the way. After coming down the east side of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, we ended up on a sunflower line road driving through fields with views of the cloud-capped mountains in the distance. The next day, we made the 570-mile drive from Raton to Durant, Oklahoma, to visit Exploration Outfitters. There, they installed a Long Range America 23-gallon extended gas tank, and after ordering a Patriot X3 trailer 8 months previously, we finally got to see one in person. Well, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And we look forward to seeing you again here on Adventure Beyond 60 when we return to Colorado and take the Colorado Backcountry Discovery route from Wyoming down to Four Corners.